Coming up on this first edition of the AnglersChannel Bass Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse. We take you out on the water for the first Elite Series event of the year on the St. Johns River and witness that incredible rookie win. We'll see what's new with the Carolina Bass Challenge, bring you the first of our latest segment, Angler Profiles, gear reviews from Strike King and Lews, and we'll highlight some must-haves from Sportsman's Warehouse. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the first AnglersChannel.com Bass Wrap-Up Show of 2021, brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse. We're going to kick off this year with the first Bassmaster Elite Series down on the St. Johns River, and our own Vance McCullough was down there to capture it all.
Bernie Schultz fixing to kick off 2021 season. What's going through your mind?
Where to start? That's right now. I mean, we got a short day, had a fog delay, lost several hours, and my fish are not close. I got a long way to go. I have an option of going into Rodman Reservoir or down to Astor. Those are my two best places, and I'm struggling with it. If I have to go into Rodman, I got to lock and I lose time locking. If I go to Astor, it's further and I lose time running. So it's kind of a coin toss. I don't know. It's fishing. What can I say?
First bass of the season, Bernie.
Yeah.
So what are we calling that on a bass track?
2 pounds. He fights it every time. You get a hook in your mouth. How small he is.
That little guy, you got to get out of there so Mom will move in and set the bed.
I know he ain't 12. He got rid of that other hook. I broke this sucker off with 30, if you can believe it. Yeah, I don't know where it, I guess he got it out of his mouth.
By the end of day 2, North Carolina's Brian New was in 10th place with 10 fish for 32 pounds 3 ounces. Local favorite Cliff Prince had 10 fish for 32.8, which was good for 7th place, but it was Gary Klaus at the midway point of the event who was far and away in the lead with 45 pounds 1 ounce. Mark Menendez, day 3 here at the Elite Series featured different weather than we've seen the first 2 days. We had some rain. It didn't seem to slow you down too much though, did it?
It did while it was raining. It was ugly when it was raining. I caught them before the rain. I caught them after the rain. I didn't catch much while it was raining at all.
Cliff Prince, decent start, really good middle. How are you going to finish this tournament?
I mean, the only way I can win this thing is have a better than average bag, and that's going to be 25 or better. So I haven't done it yet, but one big bite here is just one cast away.
First tournament of the year, you come down here, you had that Chamber of Commerce weather a couple of days, and then it changed a little bit today. How did that affect you?
That's typical Florida fishing, man. If you can ever get 2 or 3 warm sunny days and some sunlight, man, they seem to move up. The short day, the first day, kind of threw a lot of people for a loop. I just stuck with what I knew. Today I went back up to Rodman. I just never got a big bite. I caught several fish and just never caught that key 6 or 7 pound fish that I needed.
You know, the weather's definitely been inconsistent this week, you know, and kind of I looked at that coming into the tournament, that it wasn't going to be full-blown spawn, and I've actually been locking into Rodman. I fished the last 3 days in there, and I'm fishing for fish off the bank, you know, whether they're spawning in, they're pre-spawn, kind of getting close to it, but I'm just targeting those fish. I'm going through a bunch of fish a day and just kind of trying to get the right ones.
Patrick Walters assumes the lead heading into the final day of competition on the St. Johns River, followed closely by Greg Hackney, and the rest of your top 10 is Cliff Prince, Derek Hudnall, Hank Carey in 5th, Brian New in 6th, Brian Schmidt, Seth Fider, Gary Klaus, and Mark Menendez rounds out the top 10.
The Anglers Channel Bass Wrap-Up Show, presented by Sportsman's Warehouse. This portion of our program is brought to you by Strike King Lews. Go ahead, tie one on. By Ranger Boats, quality redefined, performance reimagined, and powered by Mercury. Do more of what you love on the water.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance. Mercury, go boldly.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's head back down to the St. Johns River and our own Vance McCullough.
All right, folks, day 4, final morning of the first event of the 2021 Bassmaster Elite Series season. Here we see Patrick Walters, tournament leader by ounces, tournament leader, ahead of Greg Hackney, who's still running to get his fish. Patrick Walters taking advantage of the time he's got waiting for the lock to Rodman to open, because every cast counts when you're trying to win a big blue trophy. We've caught up with Greg Hackney early on day 4, foggy, cool morning. Greg's had to scramble to find something that reminds him of home, and given the lack of vegetation around here in the river these days, the cypress trees will do it. Beautiful rusty red cypress trees in the winter, and Greg Hackney certainly looks like he's at home, and he's jerking on them early and trying hard to make up that ounces deficit he has behind Patrick Walters here on day 4. Brian New made a big move on day 3. Early on day 4, he has a quick limit, roughly 15 pounds, which has put him in the unofficial lead over Greg Hackney and Patrick Walters. Well, Brian New moves spots, and just like that, before the ripples settle out from his wake, he's already hooked up again. Brian New is on fire here in the final round. A whopper sack on the final day. What's going through your mind right now as you get ready to take the stage?
I ain't got no words, dude. I don't know what's fixing to happen, but dude, I don't get excited. I don't get emotional. I'm freaking excited.
The 2021 Bassmaster Elite at the St. Johns River belongs to Brian New. Brian New, your Bassmaster Elite Series champion.
What a win and what a start to a career. Now we've got someone to keep an eye on for years to come. Now Michelle Eichstead introduces us to a rising high school angler from York County, South Carolina, in our newest feature, Angler Profiles.
How did you get into fishing?
Well, I've been in it
almost all my life, but when I turned 16, I started doing it. Tournaments. We got into the high school fishing. Started meeting some guys that really put me on the fish and how to catch them and stuff.
Okay, so what are your goals for the future in fishing?
I only have one goal, and that's to be in the Elite Series.
How do you intend on getting there?
Catching fish.
Does anybody inspire you to get out every day and learn more?
Yeah, there's a guy named Jacob Wheeler. He's on the MLF.
What's the biggest bass you've caught thus far in your career?
10.5 pounds.
And where'd you catch it?
Davie County, North Carolina, in a farm pond.
What is your home body of water?
Lake Wiley, South Carolina.
You'll want to stick around and keep an eye on our next segment as Greg Hackney shows us some thunder cricket action in our Strike King Lews gear review. Plus, we'll talk with Brett Collins in the Carolinas Bass Challenge event on Lake Murray. And later, Anglers Channel's most northern staffer gets some pointers on Lake Guntersville from his colleague. But first, it's the Sportsman's Warehouse Product Spotlight. Welcome back, everyone. Standing with us is General Manager Craig Baird of the Sportsman's Warehouse store here in Columbia, South Carolina. And Craig, obviously, we're still dealing with COVID.
Yes, sir.
Which we're hoping is getting better as we move on down the road in 2021. But even with COVID, what hasn't stopped is all the great product and technology that's coming in every day to all the Sportsman's Warehouse stores across the country.
Yep.
Just like Hummingbird right behind us, and these side imaging units.
Yep.
And the technology that has gone into these in the last 5 years is nothing short of sensational.
Yeah, it's actually very difficult for me, even at this level, to keep up with this stuff. The technology changes, but they keep feeding it to us in mass quantities, and we're going to keep giving it to everybody else.
And customers keep buying it.
Absolutely.
I mean, the appetite for the technology is huge because the technology helps everybody catch fish.
Yeah, and it seems that if you're not on the leading edge of that with the high technology stuff and the newer stuff,
yeah,
you're doing it the old way.
That's right, exactly. And hey, speaking of that, the new way, we also have all the new technology in rods.
Yeah.
All the new technology in Lews reels.
Yes.
All the new technology in Strike King lures. I mean, you name it, and the new technology has permeated everything in the outdoor space.
Yeah, the outdoor industry is definitely changed, but it's better. Everybody learned that they could go outside and do what we need to do as far as social distancing, but product-wise, they haven't missed a beat. And every truck that shows up, new products, better products. So yeah, we're loaded down.
We're ready to rock and roll. And don't forget, folks, anything and everything you see at Sportsman's Warehouse is available 24/7 online at sportsmans.com.
The AnglersChannel Bass Wrap-Up Show, presented by Sportsman's Warehouse. This portion of our show is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses, designed with the angler in mind. By Mustad, hooked on fishing. By Trickstep, it's time to step up your game. And by Navionics, let us be your guide.
When you go out skipping, trying to learn, it's not about catching fish. Will it help you catch fish? Yes. Will it help you catch more and bigger fish? Yes. But there's something about when you go out and try to learn and you get the right equipment and you skip, slam out of sight, and you can't see it, you feel like you won. Whether you caught one or not, skipping downright makes you feel good when you skip a bait, slam out of sight.
I feel like ISO Chill definitely allows me to stay on the water longer. When you talk about 14-hour days of practice on the water, that's a long time. And most people are gonna come up with an excuse to get off, and I don't feel like I get that same fatigue, and a lot of that benefit comes from what I'm wearing. Sun protection, breathability, comfort, ISO Chill, honestly, it just helps me be more competitive and stay on the water longer.
Hey everybody, I'm Brett Collins with Carolina's Bass Challenge. We kicked off the 2021 season today on Lake Murray. We had 163 teams fishing for around 43,000 bucks. Of course, we're paying back the $10,000 Skeeter bonus that we've always paid back, and also we're offering Skeeter real money. Of course, we have four qualifying tournaments on each side, and it culminates with the $50,000 championship in October, 2-day tournament, which will be on the lake in South Carolina this year. And like I said, we usually pay back $10,000 first place at each event, and we'd love to have y'all come join us.
All right, we started out this morning pretty good. Fished deep all day. We ended up with 5, and we throwing a jig and a shaky head is the way we caught them.
18, number 18, 5 live in the picture.
You tell me how you caught them?
In ditches on crankbaits.
How are lake conditions?
Good, smooth ride. Not as cold, no rain. I loved it.
We caught a few fish last week in practice. Kind of fished the same area, did the same stuff, so it worked pretty well for us.
Oh, well. Nice.
I knew you could do it.
I tell you, baby. I tell you, baby.
5.18518, big fish.
Can you tell me real quick how your day went?
Oh, man, we had a great day. It was a gorgeous day to fish, without a doubt. Started out super. 4th cast, caught the 518. About the 10th cast, my partner caught one, Bill caught one 4-something, probably on up under a dock and pier. But it was a good day to fish, it really was. I'm really glad the rain held off.
Went really good. Started off nice. Hit some docks early this morning. Just really did a lot of finesse fishing, and caught our 2 biggest fish, the last 2 fish we caught.
Day was slow to start off with, but it picked up. The skies got a little high, and it picked up for us. We caught some deep and caught some shallow, caught them both ways.
Okay, here's Greg Hackney with some great tips and gear reviews, specifically the Strike King Thunder Cricket.
You know, one of the hottest baits in the country right now is a bladed jig, and this is my favorite. This is a Strike King Thunder Cricket. Just has a high quality paint job, a great hook, a great keeper, and one of my favorite trailers, and honestly probably the one I use 90% of the time, is a Strike King blade minnow, which is perfect for that bladed jig. And this one is bluegill, which, you know, I'm adding it to a green pumpkin, and I like contrast, and you'll see how that gives it contrast. Like, so that's basically a green pumpkin with gold, purple, and red flake, the bluegill, and I'm putting it on a solid green pumpkin Thunder Cricket, and just having that contrast of having that drab color with that bright color, and that's what you see a lot of times. And you know, when you catch a male bluegill or a male goggle eye, you know, they're flashy, they have a lot of color, and so I just feel like I get a few extra bites, and especially in Florida or anytime I'm in dark clear water, I just love, you know, adding that bluegill colored blade minnow. But you know, regardless of what color I'm using, I always use the blade minnow. It is by far, I found, the best trailer for a bladed jig. It gives that bladed jig a ton of action. It's a real natural profile. It looks like a bait fish swimming in the water.
The AnglersChannel Bass Wrap-Up Show, presented by Sportsman's Warehouse. This portion sponsored by TH Marine, quality marine products. By Humminbird Minn Kota, making every cast count. By Visit Anderson, South Carolina's bright spots. And by Rely On Batteries.
Well, here we are, beautiful Guntersville Lake. Got my good friend David Jong with me. David's come down. Yeah. David's from Wisconsin. He's come down and spent a few days working with the old CB. Been hard at work. There's no way we could ask David to come down and not put a fishing rod in his hand. So we're going to spend a little time on Guntersville this morning, see if we can't catch a few of these Guntersville known largemouth bass, maybe even get a personal best. You want to start with the chatterbait, or you want to start with the lipless? Whatever you feel. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to kill whatever one. I'll go ahead and tell you, it's probably going to be easier to throw the Strike King Thunder Cricket in this grass right now. Okay. That has been the deal. Is that bright enough for you? When you finally catch one, then I'll start catching.
You'll show up?
Yes.
All right.
So don't
sounds
wait
fair.
on me. Go right on. You just go ahead. Go. Now I can catch one. I guess I should have asked you if you wanted a net. Do you like I did Jason?
Here we go.
Whew. He ate it pretty good, didn't he? That cricket's down in the throat.
So it's Guntersville bass.
That boy.
Checking out the grass there.
Hey, a little better fish, isn't it?
Feels like it.
I might have to. Better fish. I might have to change colors.
Number 2.
Own them, huh? You know, you may not get another bite the rest of the day. You just jinx yourself. I shook it off and you catch it. Good one? I like those. Not ready yet. Came out.
Out of the hole. Number 3.
Time is your flight? 10 o'clock flight? Is that what it is?
I think it took off, but I might be staying for another week. I thought it was stuck.
Of course you have one.
It's not that big, but I was like, oh,
I'll let you have that one, girl. It's not that big. It's time for me to catch one that's not that big.
Did you want to use?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know how Jason did it.
I guess the hat wasn't a jinx after all.
The key to this bait, you really have to pay attention because that blade has such a quick movement.
Yeah.
You can feel that most of the time in your rod tip.
Yeah.
And when you feel it do something different, when that goes away, then lots of times it's a fish. A fish will come up and open their mouth and suck it in, and now they're kind of moving with the bait.
Yeah.
And that's when that blade does it. It doesn't have any resistance anymore. It stops.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can feel that before the fish actually has it, and you can kind of be prepared.
Okay.
But unless you do what I did earlier and you pull it away from it.
Sure.
But if you get in the habit of just when you feel that, just keep cranking.
Yeah.
And then when they finally load up, that's when you go ahead and set the hook after they load it up on it.
Yeah.
And so far, you've done a great job of that today.
Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to the AnglersChannel.com Bass Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse. For updated tournament news, gear reviews, and news, check out AnglersChannel.com with the Anglers Channel Insider Podcast, Anglers Channel Extra Webcast, more information than you'll ever need in just one place. Be safe on the water, and we'll see you next week.